So what do you ladies think is the leading cause of greenhouse emissions?
Well, certainly not cows.
Probably a lot of pollution, cars.
Cars, the emission from cars, aeroplanes.
Traffic or aeroplanes.
Well, I'd say industry mostly.
I think it's cars.
You'd be forgiven for believing that the leading cause of greenhouse gas emissions is either fossil fuel use or transport. But in 2009, the World Watch Institute found that taking into account the pollutants created by growing the food to feed livestock, transporting the food and the actual animal themselves, combined with the gases that are consequential to actually raising an animal, equates to 51% of all greenhouse gases emitted annually all around the world. To show how bad it is, let's make a comparison with something we're all familiar with. The average car produces between 3 and 12 kilograms per day of CO2, but clearing rainforests to grow feed that is supplied to most cows to produce beef for even a single burger produces on average 75 kilograms of CO2. That means in even preparing to raise a single cow emits roughly the same amount of CO2 as driving an average car for up to 25 days. And that's just in preparing to feed these animals. Just one cow produces as much waste as 164 humans. And in the US alone, a minimum of 7 million pounds of waste is produced every minute by livestock. However, this waste doesn't get treated like human waste does, and often leads to ocean and groundwater pollution, and there are some awful consequences for dumping this waste into the ocean. The animal waste in the ocean increases the nitrogen concentration, making the waters toxic to its native species. This leads to something called an ocean dead zone. These are wide areas of sea where no life survives.
Alright, so you may be thinking, but what about fish? Surely that's not so bad.
And I wish you were right. However, the fish industry is also incredibly damaging for wildlife. Fish are often caught by either trawling or with long lines of hooks being laid out behind a boat. By doing this, for every pound of targeted fish caught, 5 pounds of what is often referred to as bykill is caught. Bykill being marine species that weren't targeted by the line. Okay, so what about farmed fish? Well, even farmed fish are often fed other fish that are caught using traditional fishing methods, meaning that farmed fish are arguably even worse for the oceans. Due to these fishing methods and pollution due to animal agriculture, there's a very real possibility that our planet faces fishless oceans by the year 2048.
However, by not buying animal products, you reduce the demand for them and so fewer are produced.
By following a vegan diet, you cause 50% less CO2 emissions, 1/11th of the oil use, 1/13th of the water use, and 1/18th of the land use.
So next time you sit down to eat, ask yourself if the 5 minutes you're going to spend eating a cheeseburger is really worth all the damage it's going to be doing to our environment.